Hello, everyone. Welcome to this video. In this session, we'll explain what a metadata provider and repository are and how to create them in SKYVVA. The metadata provider organizes integration metadata by source system and manages one or more repositories. Each SKYVVA repository stores message types, IStructure fields, message type field entries, and message type relationships, supporting both simple and hierarchical integration structures. The metadata provider organizes integration metadata by source system. Different providers can represent systems such as SAP, Salesforce, Google, databases, APIs, and other external systems. The SKYVVA repository stores message types, IStructure fields, message type field entries, and message type relationships. Together, these components provide a reusable metadata model for integration. The repository stores message types and IStructure fields. IStructure fields are the individual fields that can be used in a message type. A message type defines the data structure used for an integration. When creating a message type, you can select fields from the IStructure and add them to the message type. Message types can be designed for different types of integrations, including SOAP, REST, databases, SAP, Google, and other external systems. For SOAP and REST integrations, message types can define both request and response structures. They can also represent nested and hierarchical data, such as an account containing multiple contacts. For example, the request IStructure defines the data sent to the external system, while the response IStructure defines the data returned from the external system. Both structures are used by the integration interface, where the data is mapped, validated, and processed. The interface then manages the message exchange with connected systems such as ERP, banking, cloud services, and other external systems. Now, let's start the configuration. Navigate to the Metadata Provider's global page. Here, you can see the metadata provider we created earlier. On this screen, there are several options, including Restore Metadata Provider button, which allows you to restore an existing metadata provider for reuse. Click the button to select a file from your local system. The Backup Metadata Provider button allows you to select an existing metadata provider and create a backup for future use. The Transport to Other Org option is used to transport a metadata provider from one organization to another. You need to configure the transport settings first. We have already explained how to configure transport in a previous video. The New button allows you to create a new metadata provider, while the Delete button allows you to delete an existing metadata provider. In this search box, you can search for a specific metadata provider by name. Now, let's create a new metadata provider. Click New button. Enter name of require field, and enter notes of description field. Then, click Save the button. Here is the new metadata provider we just created. Below, you can see the repository section, where you can create a new repository. Create a repository to store the message types. Click New button. Enter name of repository. Here are the available repository types, including repository, folder, SAP iDoc, SAP BOPI, SAP PI/PO, and others. Select the type that you need. In this demo, we select None. After saving the repository, continue to create the message type. You can create it manually or import it using the Import Message Type option. All these functions are available for generating a message type. Each function works differently, and we have already explained them one by one in previous videos. So, we won't go into detail about them again in this video. In this example, we create message type using Import Metadata button. Click on it. Choose the file type you want to import. SKYVVA supports several file types, including Swagger/OpenAPI 2.0, OpenAPI 3.x, JSON, JSON schema, XML, XSD, WSDL 1.1, WSDL 2.0, CSV, and EDMX. Now select the JSON file type. Then upload the file name. Select the file name. Click Next and enter the root name for message type. And save the button. Here is the message type after it has been created. It contains 3 levels: account, contact, and asset. Click on Account, then go to the Related tab to view the IStructure fields received from the imported file. Here is Field from File Existing. You can also select additional fields from the repository if needed. If the repository does not contain the required field, you need to create it first. Simply click the New IStructure button. Enter the name of the field you want to create. We created the field description. And click Save and New for Create More, the second field named ACC_name. For the third field, enter ACC_billing country. Now, go to the Related tab and open the Structure section to view the field you just created. You can see it listed there. Now, go to the message type and click on Account to add more fields. Click on Select Field from Repository button. Click Search to display all the fields available in the repository. Then can check box on field you need. After saving, the field becomes a message type field entry under the account message type. The metadata provider is where we manage metadata information for an external system. The repository is where we store the message types and structure fields used by the integration. We need them to organize, manage, and reuse metadata easily when creating interfaces and mappings. Summary: the metadata provider acts as a container for metadata, while the repository stores message types and IStructure fields. Together, they make it easier to connect metadata to interfaces and define mappings for data integration. Thanks for watching. See you the next video.